Hey guys, hi, welcome to the channel. So today we have Shrikant also with us who has just finished off his slot 6 paper, and he'll be giving us some input so that we have a better idea of how the questions were, how much can you expect the cutoffs to be for 99.99, how much you need. So yeah, Shrikant.
Yeah, so went through the paper entirely.
Yeah,
The
Shrikant.
LR part was kind of easy. There were a lot of singlets. After question number 50, there were some puzzles in my particular slot. Coming to the puzzles, the first puzzles, there was 12 unknowns. Another one had 8 unknowns. Then the third one had 14 unknowns. Then fourth one had 20 unknowns, and the fifth one had 10 unknowns. So none of the puzzles were very difficult or even above moderate to difficult. They were easy to medium. Coming to singlet questions were pretty easy. There were some number series questions which students might feel that they are quants question and in another section. Apart from that, I don't did not found any really surprising or a new element sort of a question. There were a couple of questions based on football, like who is tackling whom, etc. But those were also pretty doable, not very difficult. There were coding decoding questions. As I had mentioned earlier in my video, that if you can write one to A B C to Z and all the numbers, you could have easily solved at least 5 questions just by writing those coding decoding numbers. And also a lot of numbers in number series you could have solved if you had written 1 to 20 ka table on your paper. Apart from that, coming to quants was sort of easy to medium, not very difficult as well. Nothing, no DI or no, CAT level PYQ sort of questions. They were very easy. Few questions I found in TTP mocks itself, they were also there. There are a lot of algebra questions in which only if you had there were questions like a 2a cube minus 3a cube plus 4a square. If you had just substituted the value of a as 1 and a b c as 1, you could have found the answers. There were easily option elimination could have been used very easily. Lot of number series questions, sorry, lot of numbers and divisibility questions. So people who had done remainder and divisibility wala numbers, they would have found it easy, but who generally do not do would found it very difficult. Then there were a lot of calculation oriented questions like multiplication of a number such as 968,427 into 3493. But you could have just marked the answer because the last word or the last letter of the number would be 1, and in option there was only option with that number. There was one calendar question as well. There were a couple of time speed distance questions, but generally asked questions like two trains traveling in opposite directions, revolutions of circles, circular time speed. Even in time and work, there were questions with men and women working. Also, there were pipe related questions. A lot of questions on ages, partnerships, algebra, which could have been done with option elimination. And coming to verbal again was pretty easy, I would say. If you had bifurcated the questions into fact-based, inference-based questions, which I did, and I found out there were around 20 plus questions which were fact-based, and they included spelling mistakes, spelling errors. Then there were grammatical error, a lot of questions, around 20 questions which were fact-based, and I think not very difficult. There were some idiom questions like boils down to working against the clock. Then there were parajumbles were there, quite a few, and a lot of main idea questions. So there were 5 sentences, and you have to figure out which sentence does not include in the main idea and such. Couple of fill in the blanks questions, a lot of spelling mistakes questions which were very easy. Like you had to spelling mistakes में ऐसे questions थे जैसे कि traditionally का spelling is very simple, everyone knows. Adopted का spelling was very easy, everybody knows. So a very simple spelling mistake or find the error in the questions. Then coming to RCs, there were 7 RCs. I wouldn't say 7 RCs because a lot of RC had only one question, so they are technically para summary, but the length of the question is very high. First RC was on economics, uh, sort of an inference-based RC with 5 questions. Then second RC was on world population, which had only one question, so it was a para summary and had to be skipped. Then third RC was about Air India. It was for two questions only. Again, we could have skipped it. Then fourth RC was for on something related to penguins. Again, there were only two questions you could have skipped. Then RC five, based on a person called Tuan, Tuan, had five questions. Then a skin care related article by Bombay Shaving Company had again, which is RC6, had five questions. Then last there was one more RC, which is RC7, which had only one question on Kaveri water dispute. So all in all, I would say this exam was very close to any mock that you would have given in the test Panda or the TDP mocks. And again, if you see the ranges of students scoring around 150, 155 is something that will be the first ranker. I assume around 150, 160. But a general 99 percentile would be anywhere around 145 to 150. I feel.
Great. So in short, it's just like the previous slot,
Yeah, yeah.
if
I
I'm not
mean, yeah, it could be similar to previous slot. I have not given it, but yeah, this is the whole gist of it, and I think not very different from what I've heard for slot 3, 4, and 5. Sort of similar, not as difficult as slot 1 and 2 as we have heard. So yeah,
yeah. So in short, guys, quants थोड़ा सा लेंदी था from others, but it's very doable. एंड बाकी एब्स्ट्रैक्ट वर्बल एलआर तो एज इज मतलब पजल्स थे भी तो वेरी इजी
fact I forgot to mention was very easy. Like there were so many questions which were repeat from a lot of mocks that we have solved and also last year papers. So again, very easy.
दैट्स नाइस सो आई होप यू ऑल हैव गिवन द पेपर वेल वही 150 प्लस वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग 99.99 सबसे ज़्यादा जो लगी है वो फर्स्ट डोज स्लॉट वालों की ही लगी है सो बट इट आई मीन इट्स अ गुड थिंग फॉर द वंस हु प्रिपेयर्ड they would have scored well so easy to get a good percentile and guys we have not marked the answers in these papers so you don't have to worry इतना कि आप लोग को ज़्यादा मार्क्स आएगा तो फिर बाकी रिलेटिव परसेंटाइल्स प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा so you don't have to worry we understand we've heard you before and we will not do that so yeah
I think that
question
is it from
hi
my side, Vidhan. I'll
yeah
have a leave. Thank
yeah so
you.
Shrikant के फोन में चार्ज बहुत कम है so Shrikant you can join us later you can leave now we'll take it ahead slots cutoff video Omkar will make a slot cutoff video but in every live that we've done you can have a look at our videos उसमें सब में हमने बताया कि what we think should be the ideal cutoff लास्ट के चारों स्लॉट्स का कट ऑफ वुड बी हाई अकॉर्डिंग टू अस 140s 150s के रेंज में एंड स्टार्टिंग के दो का बिकॉज इट वाज वेरी टफ इट वुड बी क्वाइट लो वुड बी समवेयर अराउंड 120ish व्हाट डू यू थिंक आदित्य
Yeah, I think cutoffs in the last four slots 140 plus ही रहेगा. Usually JV का cutoff since you've given it since you've taken the exam 4-5 साल से इतना ही रहता है 140 people score and paper was that difficulty जिसमें 140 काफी लोग को आ सकता है because a lot of students have attempted about 160 170 questions so 140 तो काफी लोग को आएगा. So cutoff would definitely be over that for the last four slots and last one two slots you can assume 5 to 7 marks less, so around 130, 132 ऐसे रह सकता है. Again, this is the cutoff, but toppers 99.99 percentilers for AI all in the cutoff. This will be at least in the last four slots 160 तो रहेगा.
some are saying that two RCs were also very lengthy and that too with just two questions so I guess हो सकता है but since other sections were easy probably you could have gotten a chance to solve most of the questions.
And exactly that was the trap that you had to avoid. Just again, we have not seen the RC, but you should have just taken a look at those two questions and marked an educated guess based on logic. तो उसमें से तुम्हें एक mark तो right आ जाता है. If someone would have read the RC and attempted it, they would have spent almost 3 minutes or so in for 2 marks, while in just a few seconds you could have got 1 mark. तो ऐसे तुम्हें smartly देना चाहिए paper. If I was taking the paper और ऐसा होता तो I would have avoided it because it was a trap. बाकी sections में काफी easy questions थे that you could have attempted instead of a long RC.
Hmm. See, my saying slot 5 had lot more calculator questions, no straight ones like slot 6. English had at least 25 questions from RCs. One RC was on finance, one was like a story, and one I've heard was on science as well. नो DI, नो ज्योमेट्री. DI का तो ठीक है, आ ही नहीं रहा था कल से, तो फिर वी हैड अज्यूम दैट DI नहीं आएगा. ज्योमेट्री नहीं आया, ओके, सरप्राइजिंग, क्योंकि ज्योमेट्री के क्वेश्चंस तो थे. 3 puzzles had 5 questions on them. No separate vocab. All right. तो vocab में काफी जल्दी हो जाते क्वेश्चंस, तो इट्स अनफॉर्चुनेट अगर इतने नहीं आए तो. बट यू वुड हैव गॉटन इट इन डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स, जैसे श्रीकांत बोल रहा था कि थोड़ा स्पेलिंग चेक कर लो, थोड़े सिनोनिम्स एंटोनिम्स.
Which is easier and more high scoring than vocab, so that's also a good thing.
राइट.
If traditionally or adopted ये सब के spelling mistakes आया तो that's very high scoring. You should get 100% accuracy in those. Um, Again, मतलब इतना see guys, exactly you can't compare because no one has taken all the 6 slots. तो ये सब we can say again. Para jumbles ज़्यादा है, Chaitanya mentioned, so that takes a little more time. So if there's no vocab जिसमें time save होता है usually, इधर time ज़्यादा हो गया तो ये सब थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे होते रहेगा.
करेक्ट. एंड ऑल्सो गाइज, MSc फाइनेंस का भी आगे स्कोप है फॉर द वंस हु थिंक दैट दे हैव नॉट रियली स्कोर्ड वेल एंड आर इंटरेस्टेड इन फाइनेंस. जेबी का MSc फाइनेंस का भी जल्दी नोटिस आएगा, सो वील
Same
मेक अ
for
सेपरेट वीडियो.
MHRD.
Yeah, and for MHRD, we'll make a separate video for that as well whenever the notifications are out. So you all can apply for that. उसमें होगा GDPI and then you'd be getting into MFin.
Yeah, if you are interested in HR or finance, you can consider these two courses from JBIMS, MHRD and MSc Finance. If you are sure you want to go to marketing, then you can reach out to us if you're confused on what to do next if you're not getting JBIMS, because M.M.S ka cutoff will be high because the paper, apart from the first 2 slots, was easy overall.
ऐसा मत बोलो यार, abstract was way too difficult. Abstract was a little tricky. ये तो मैं अभी सुन रहा हूँ. From what I know, abstract is easy and काफी पुराने questions आए हैं. Hmm.
So that's about the slots. If there are any questions, response sheet I think last time 2-3 हफ्ते बाद आया था, so you can expect it then. And then उसके assume 2 हफ्ते बाद और result. So maybe 1 month overall for results.
Hmm.
Yes, Seema, there were a lot of questions in slot 5 from PYQs. Okay, guys, if there are no questions, then we can take a leave. CET 2025 is finally over, so you can take a break now for a couple of days क्योंकि तुमने बहुत एटलीस्ट लाइफ में बहुत मॉक्स दिए होंगे बहुत स्ट्रेस लिया होगा वो टेंशन लिया होगा सो जस्ट रिलैक्स टुडे रिलैक्स ऑन द वीकेंड एंड महाराष्ट्र कॉलेजेस का विल बी मेकिंग मोर वीडियोस गाइडिंग यू ऑन व्हाट टू डू जीडीपीआई कौन से कॉलेज में अप्लाई कर सकते हो अभी भी ऑल दैट विल कवर एंड again MSc Finance and MHRD are two good options if you have
Also,
just missed the CET cutoff by a little bit.
also, guys, we've created a separate YouTube channel for undergraduate program. The name of the channel is the Top Percentile UG. So if you all know people, you have friends, relatives, cousins who are preparing for UG exams, please ask them to subscribe to that channel and watch the videos where we keep posting new ones on the different exams, strategies, etc., and the processes. Okay, then. Thank you so much, guys, for being on the channel. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.